The 1% rule. The boy who changed his life. One small step at a time. Everyone wants to change their life. They want better grades, a better body, more money, more confidence, and a better future. But there is one problem. Most people want the result, but they don't want to do the work required to achieve it. They want to become successful overnight. They want to wake up one morning and suddenly become a completely disciplined, confident, talented, and successful person. But real life doesn't work that way. The biggest changes in life usually don't happen in one dramatic moment. They happen quietly. One small decision, one small action, one small improvement, and then another, and then another. Until one day, the person you used to be becomes almost impossible for you to recognize. This is the story of a 16-year-old boy named Ethan. Ethan lived in a quiet little town in Ohio. He wasn't a bad kid, but he wasn't the kind of kid people paid special attention to either. He was average in school, average at basketball, and average at almost everything else. And the worst part was that Ethan had started believing that he would always remain an average person. Every morning when he went to school, he saw students who seemed to have already figured out the purpose of their lives. There was Jake, who always got the highest grades in class. There was Marcus, the star player on the basketball team. And there was Ryan, who could walk into any room and talk to anyone without feeling nervous. Ethan looked at them and thought, why can't I be like them? He wanted to change. He really wanted to change. But Ethan had one major problem. He always tried to change his entire life at once. One Sunday night, Ethan decided that he was finally going to completely change his life. He made a long list. Wake up at 5 in the morning, study for 3 hours, work out for 1 hour, read 30 pages of a book, practice basketball for 2 hours, learn Spanish, eat healthy food, and stop using his phone. Ethan looked at the list and became incredibly excited. He told himself, this time, I'm really going to become a completely different person. The next morning, his alarm went off at 5. Ethan opened his eyes. He looked at the clock. Then he looked at his warm and comfortable blanket. 5 minutes later, he was asleep again. When he finally woke up at 7:15 a.m., he felt extremely disappointed, but he didn't give up. That afternoon, he studied for almost 3 hours. Then he went to the gym. He worked out so hard that his entire body started hurting. That night, he tried to read 30 pages, but after just 10 pages, his eyes started becoming heavy. By the end of the first day, Ethan was completely exhausted. By the third day, everything started feeling difficult, and by the 7th day, he had completely given up. His notebook was still sitting on his desk. His running shoes were still untouched. His workout plan had been forgotten, and the big list he had created was buried underneath a pile of homework. Ethan looked at it and quietly said, I always do this. He had tried before, and he had failed before. Every time, he made a big promise to himself, and every time, he broke that promise. Slowly, Ethan started believing something dangerous. Maybe he wasn't disciplined. Maybe he didn't have any special talent. Maybe successful people were simply born different. Maybe he was just meant to be an average person. One Saturday morning, Ethan went to visit his Uncle Daniel. Uncle Daniel owned a small repair shop on the edge of town. When Ethan arrived, he saw his uncle working on an old motorcycle. The motorcycle was in terrible condition. Its paint was scratched and peeling, its metal was covered in dust, and its engine didn't even work. Ethan looked at it and laughed. Uncle Daniel, are you really trying to fix that? His uncle smiled. Yes, Ethan asked. Why? That thing looks like it will never run again. Daniel wiped his hands with an old cloth. Then he looked at Ethan. Do you know how you fix a broken motorcycle? Ethan shrugged. By fixing one problem at a time. He pointed toward the engine. Today, I'll fix this. Then he pointed toward the fuel system. Tomorrow I'll fix that. Then he looked at the tires. After that, I'll replace these. Ethan silently looked at the motorcycle. Daniel smiled. If I look at every broken part at the same time, I might give up before I even begin. Then he said something Ethan would never forget. Big problems become small when you stop trying to solve them all at once. Ethan became silent. Daniel continued, "Your life is exactly the same." Ethan looked at him with confusion. Daniel said, "You try to become a completely different person every week. You want better grades, a stronger body, more confidence, and new skills all at the same time." He paused. "That's why you keep giving up." Ethan lowered his eyes. Then he asked, "So what should I do?" Daniel smiled. "Do less." Ethan looked surprised. "Less?" "Yes. Start so small that you don't even have room to make an excuse." Ethan began thinking. Daniel picked up a small screwdriver. "Don't try to change your entire life tomorrow." He pointed toward the motorcycle. "Just fix one small thing." That evening, Ethan went home and took out a blank piece of paper. This time, he didn't write 20 goals. He wrote only 3 things. Read 1 page, do 10 push-ups, study for 15 minutes. That's it. The next morning, Ethan woke up at 7. Not 5, 7. He didn't feel like a hero, but he studied for 15 minutes. Then he did 10 push-ups. Then he read 1 page. It took less than 30 minutes to do all of it. Ethan almost laughed. That's it? But he remembered his uncle's words. Start so small that you can't make an excuse. So the next day, he did it again. And the day after that, and the day after that. After 1 week, Ethan had studied for almost 2 hours in total. He had completed 70 push-ups over 7 days. And he had read 7 pages of a book. It didn't seem like a big deal. Nobody noticed. His friends didn't congratulate him. His teachers didn't announce it. Even his parents didn't know about it. But something inside Ethan had changed. For the first time in his life, he had kept a promise he had made to himself. Then Ethan decided to make one more small improvement. Instead of studying for 15 minutes, he studied for 16. Instead of doing 10 push-ups, he did 11. Instead of reading 1 page, he read 2. The difference was almost impossible to notice. But Ethan didn't care. He wasn't trying to become great in 1 day. He was simply trying to become a little better than yesterday. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Then something strange started happening. The small improvements began connecting with each other. Ethan's 15-minute study sessions became 30 minutes. 30 minutes became 45. Eventually, Ethan could sit at his desk and study for an entire hour without checking his phone. His 10 push-ups became 20, then 30, then 50. His reading habit grew too. 1 page became 5 pages, 5 became 10, and eventually, Ethan started finishing entire books. But the biggest change wasn't happening in his grades, it wasn't happening in his body, and it wasn't happening in his knowledge. The biggest change was happening inside his mind. Ethan was becoming someone who was learning to trust himself. Every small promise he kept strengthened his confidence. He no longer needed to tell people that he was changing. His actions were telling his story for him. 3 months later, his history teacher returned a test to him. Ethan looked at the paper, 2%. He stared at the number in disbelief. A few months earlier, he probably wouldn't have believed he could get a score like that. But this time, he smiled. Not because he had become the smartest student in school, but because he knew exactly how he had gotten there. Through one small study session at a time. A few weeks later, Ethan decided to try out for the basketball team again. The previous year, he had been one of the worst players at tryouts. But this year, everything was different. He wasn't the fastest player, he wasn't the strongest, and he certainly wasn't the most talented. But he had practiced every day. Just a little. 1 extra shot, 1 extra sprint, 1 extra drill, 1 extra minute. When the coach announced the final names of the players, Ethan stood silently among the other students. Then he heard his name, Ethan Carter. He had made the team. For a moment, he just stood there. His friends started celebrating. His coach shook his hand. But Ethan thought about that old motorcycle sitting inside his uncle's repair shop. One problem at a time, one small improvement at a time, 1% better every day. 1 year later, Ethan returned to the repair shop to visit his uncle. The old motorcycle was completely restored. It looked beautiful. Its engine was running. Its paint was shining. Ethan looked at it and smiled. "Wow," Daniel laughed. "Remember when you said this thing would never run again?" Ethan nodded. "Yeah." Daniel looked at him. "So what do you think now?" Ethan smiled. "I guess you were right." Daniel shook his head. "No." Ethan looked at him in surprise. Daniel pointed toward the motorcycle. "I wasn't right about the motorcycle." Then he pointed toward Ethan. "I was right about you." Ethan smiled. Daniel said, "You thought you had to change your entire life in one night." He paused. "But you didn't. You just had to fix one small thing at a time." Ethan looked at the motorcycle. Then he thought about his grades, his workouts, his confidence, his books, his basketball. None of it had happened overnight. There had been no magical morning, no sudden transformation, no secret shortcut. There had only been small actions, repeated again and again. And this is the secret most people never understand. Success usually doesn't come with one giant leap. It comes quietly. You read one page, you save $1. You make one extra phone call. You do one extra push-up. You study for 15 minutes. You practice one new skill. You wake up and make one better decision.
Then yesterday. In the beginning, the difference is so small that you can't even see it. But small things add up over time. 1% may not feel powerful today. But if you keep becoming 1% better every day, it can completely transform your life. So if you feel stuck in your life, don't ask yourself, "How can I change my entire life?" Instead, ask yourself a better question. What is one small thing I can improve today? Maybe it's reading one page. Maybe it's saving $1. Maybe it's making one phone call. Maybe it's studying for 10 minutes. Maybe it's taking a 10-minute walk. Start small. Start today. And most importantly, keep going. Because your life doesn't change when you make just one big decision. Your life changes when you make hundreds of small decisions in the right direction. Ethan didn't become successful because he was the smartest. He didn't become confident because he was naturally confident. He didn't become strong because he had some special talent. He changed because he stopped trying to become a new person overnight. Instead, he started becoming a little better every single day. And eventually, all those small improvements came together and created a life he once thought was impossible. Always remember this. You don't have to climb the entire mountain today. You only have to take the next step. Then another. Then another. Because one day, you'll look back and realize an incredible truth. That small step you almost ignored was the very step that changed everything. Don't wait for the perfect day. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait until you feel completely ready. Just start with one small action. Make it so easy that you can't even say no to it. Then do it again tomorrow. And the day after that. Because greatness isn't built overnight. It is built quietly. It is built with patience. It is built through consistency. One decision. One action. One day. And by becoming 1% better every day. And one day, your future self will be grateful that you decided to start today. Urdu translate.